Back when the IS-7 heavy tank was first added, it was one of the most powerful vehicles in War Thunder. You could even say it was a bit overpowered. That was a little over 3 years ago though. With all that's changed since then, how does one of the rarest vehicles in games stack up now? To find out, I played as many games as I could before I got sick of it. I hadn't played it much prior to this video, and my experiences weren't great. I barely had more kills than deaths, and I practically always got full up tiers. My experience was a bit different this time around, but I will say this. The IS-7 is the epitome of BR compression. Imagine the issue most heavy tanks have, where it stomps in down tiers but sucks in up tiers, and multiply that by 10. That is what playing the IS-7 is like. Before I elaborate, I know some of you guys enjoy watching pure gameplay, so here's a short little kill montage. To be completely honest, the IS-7 is a very fun tank to play, with the cannon being the main draw of the thing. Most Russian heavies are the same deal, but whenever I was playing it, I couldn't help but feel that I'd be doing much better if I was in some other tank. For example, the Object 279 is better in pretty much every single way. The gun is similar but much better, it has a stabilizer, is more mobile, and has more effective armor. And what's the cost for all that? Being a tiny bit higher BR-wise. The IS-7's armor is very situational, only working against a select few tanks, namely whatever doesn't get heated that tier, so Centurions, French heavy tanks, T-32s, and that's pretty much it. The side armor can be a bit trolly, but only if you don't know one simple trick, which is that the lower sides are flat. For a Russian heavy tank, it is surprisingly survivable, especially since the ammo is stored everywhere. I found that taking 12 rounds is usually the best. It's APHE, and big APHE at that, so you shouldn't need more than 1 round per target. It is nice to have 2 HMGs though. I can't tell you how many times it helped against light vehicles. The biggest drawback by far is the lack of a stabilizer, and it doesn't help that the IS-7 is not a stable tank in the slightest. You can try to fire at just the right time, but trust me, it does not work most of the time. At pretty much every BR, reaction time is key. While getting footage for this video, I got my barrel shot out a lot. Sitting back and catching stabilized tanks by surprise did work, but it wasn't very conducive to actually winning the game. As soon as I pushed to take an objective, I usually got sniped by some tank with thermals. Which brings me back to compression. For the majority of my games, I was lucky enough to get down tiers. The IS-7 is an absolute monster in fighting 7.0 tanks, which is why it can't be put at a lower BR. In up tiers, it only has one thing going for it, its ability to one-shot vehicles. It can pen everything it sees and everything can pen it, but everything else has better mobility, response time, muzzle velocity, gun handling, and stabilizers. It's a perfect example of why decompression is needed so badly. Many tanks are in a similar position, but are far less powerful than the IS-7, so they're largely dead weight. Anyway, I hope that gave a good idea of what playing the IS-7 is like, and I'll see you on the next one.